Welcome back to Flying Trout. It's late May. Fishing has been awesome. Gotten out a few times and had good luck all the days. Some days were better than others. Normal spring fishing for me, really. I find that spring can be kind of a temperamental time with all the changes coming through and runoff starting. And last week, that was definitely the story there. Runoff had started and things were looking a little bit different, so the fish didn't quite know what to do, so numbers were a little bit less last week as runoff kind of starts to pick up and that water starts coming down. I was kind of surprised. I didn't really think we were going to get a strong runoff this year, and I wouldn't say it's super strong, but we had a terrible winter here in Colorado, but it was good to see some water rushing through the system last weekend. But this week, given how slow it was last week, did a whole camping trip and everything and only caught a few fish. So figured we'd switch it up. We're going to fish a different river system today. This one's pretty close to my house, actually, and so we're just going to go with it. And we're getting a little bit of a later start. It's about 10:30 in the morning. I normally like to start around 6 or 7, something like that. And so we're going to start off here pretty early, or pretty late. Get out there, still make the most of it. There's a really cool little kind of hidden gem spot that I've got that I've never ever seen anybody else at, and I've never seen anybody else try to get to. It does take a little bit more of hiking and a little bit harder to get to. Most of this river that I'm going to is just right along the road, and so you just park wherever you want to and get out right there and fish. And it's really good fishing, great brown trout population, all wild fish, hasn't been stocked in forever. And so it's an awesome fishery to fish. But there's this one spot that you kind of pull up and you can't even see the river, and you kind of have to hike to it and find your own way. But once you do, I've had some really good fish in there, and there's actually a fish in there that I've broken off on a few times that I think is really large, and I've normally only taken the 4-weight down there. So today we're going to take the 6-weight and see what we can make happen. It should be a good time. So stick around a little bit. We'll see what happens. There's a fish. All right. I will never endorse what I just did as a good idea. Water was super heavy, so we ended up just climbing this rock face and kind of scaling that all the way through. Definitely a little sketchy, but I gotta say the boots that I've got on, I got the Sitka wading boots, the new ones. They are super sticky and help me stay on that wall, so that was a good time. All right, let's take a break at this spot right here and see if we can catch a fish, huh? Got our line back. Step up a couple steps up here to this log jam. So we try to stay out of it. All right, let's try to go a little deeper now. I think I might also increase my indicator size just with the heavy flows. Help anchor that a little bit more. That's the nice thing about these Oros indicators, man. Like, you can customize and switch and everything just so much easier than any of the old thingamabobbers or anything like that. Or wool's another good alternative, but you don't get quite the same, I don't know, hold up there. If you're fishing like Euro Nymphs specifically, wool's the way to go for sure. But I kind of like to drift in and out. You know, I don't really do like an exact Euro Nymph method. I more so use like the monorig approach, where I'm kind of stealing the indicator system or the leader system from Euro nymphing, but kind of using all the advantages and casting it more like a fly line. And it works really well, honestly, all things considered. It just gives me the ability to stay versatile out on the water instead of getting stuck down into one thing. All right, we made it over to this spot. You can see it's super white up there, and then as you kind of come down through here, all that water softens up a little bit, and there's this cliff right there. And so what happened one time, I'm fishing and I hooked into kind of a smaller rainbow, and I could see it, and then all of a sudden some dark shape came jutting out from underneath that cliff and ate the smaller rainbow I had on the end of my line. It actually got hooked in for just a second and then it broke off. It was a large fish, and especially this river. I mean, like a good fish on this river is like 15 inches, 18 inches is like unreal. I've caught them before, but very rare on this river. And this fish looked far bigger than that. So I've definitely been thinking about this fish for a long time. So I'm hoping we can strip a couple streamers in there, see if we can get them out of there. All right, let's get to work. Oh, there was something there. Got a couple of little nibbles, but nothing committed. So we're gonna switch over to an indicator, I think. Put a couple nymphs on, see if we can get them down deep in there. We are re-rigged. What we've got this time, we've got that green kind of hare's ear right there. And he's actually tied onto the bend of a purple Perdigon. I'm done messing around with the other. And then we're going pretty dang deep, because I know this water is deep. And we finish that off with that orange, large, I think it's the medium size Oros indicator. So we're gonna try to go really deep here. We've got a nice run right over here that we're gonna try to get that fly into. See if they're more into this than the streamer. It's sometimes just hard to know if that fly is getting down into the strike zone when it's this kind of hot, considering how deep this water is here. I wasn't sure if we had kind of guessed right, I guess. Sometimes, to be honest, that's all fly fishing is. It's just a guessing game. People try to tell you we're out here really being smart or something like that, but a lot of the time, you're just making your best estimated guess. So We're gonna get this closer up in there, not there. Right there in that bubble line. We're just gonna throw some men's in there. Keep that fly drifting nice. And there's a fish. Come on, come over here into this slow stuff. Where'd he go? All right, got him. All right, we've got this wily little rainbow right here. Got the fly out of him. Hands wet. See if we can show him off a little bit. There he is. Nice little rainbow trout. Beautiful fish. Looks like we took him off of the purple perdigon. That is a fly that has become a staple in my box. I haven't even been carrying any other colors in the perdigon because that purple has been so good to me throughout the spring. So definitely tie up a couple of those if you're wanting to try out a new fly. Let's keep fishing. There we go. He actually looked like he tried to come up and hit the indicator. And he hammered that perdigon. Wow. Holy smokes. All right. We got another nice rainbow. He's gotten himself all tangled in our line there. Get him free. Looks like he went on that purple perdigon as well, so seems to be a good fly for us. And this one here is a little bit of a nicer fish. We're gonna try to get just a quick picture with him, keeping him wet, all that good stuff. He's a little angry, so we're gonna go with a net picture for this guy, I think. Come on, buddy. All right. Got our picture. Look at that sucker right there. Send him on his way. That's a beautiful rainbow number 2. I'm gonna take a second. I keep a notebook of all the fish I catch, so we're gonna write that out here real quick. Some nice gentle men's in there, so we can get another one. Like that lie right there. Got kind of sucked into some of that fast stuff there. So the end of that drift wasn't great. We're gonna let this keep going through. We caught that one right in here. She's definitely worth a little shot, I think. Nothing. All right, well, we're gonna move downriver a little bit. Oh, just kidding. Holy smokes. And he actually went on that caddis fly, it looks like, on that hare's ear. Man, I was ready to keep on moving. All right. Got another little rainbow. Got him off of that green hare's ear that I'm kind of using as a caddis imitation. Nice little small guy, nothing crazy, but a beautiful little wild trout for sure. So I'm gonna get a quick picture of him as well. Oh man, flopped out, but we got a couple pictures. He's ready to get back. We've gotten 3 fish out of this section here, and normally that's where I'd kind of stop. 3 fish is kind of pushing it, but given that the water's high, there's not a lot of places to fish. But I think we might just move down just a little bit here, go actually downstream. I normally work upstream, but since we came from downstream or upstream, we're gonna work down here, see if we can catch something else along that bank there. Oh dang. Well, we got a fish on the line, but we slipped him off there. And this is kind of one of those challenges with higher water is some of those techniques get a little bit harder to do. There's just more water pushing through the system. It's faster, so it's harder to strike detect, all those good things. So you really have to be paying attention. And honestly, sometimes I miss them, and you know what? That's okay. We're just out here having a good time anyways. So trying to figure out, there's some bumps that I've had in here, and I'm trying to figure out if those are fish or if that's just hitting a rock or something that's right in there. Huh. Fish came up and ate a dry right in front of me. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was right in front of me though. Keep an eye out for that. If there's something popping off, dry flies are by far my favorite way to catch fish on a fly. So if that's going to be a thing, I am all in. That was definitely a fish, but did not go in on that very hard at all. Let's shallow it up a little bit more, actually. Just gonna loosen that up a little. We can pull that down. We're gonna go quite a bit shorter. So now there's our indicator, there's our line. We've got about 2 feet of depth. We were fishing with, gosh, probably about 5 feet of depth on some of those other fish that we've caught, trying to get really low. But we're gonna try that shallower. That was definitely a fish, I think. So I'm gonna try to let my line go along this bank, see if I can get anybody here before I kind of walk over there. There's just all this beautiful tree stuff right there. And fish just love to hang out in there, so. Yep. Saw a couple of fish spook out of there, unfortunately. That's all right. And the thing is a little shallow in there anyways, but it's from downstream here. I'm just gonna hit that one more time, get a better drift. All right, nothing in there. We can feel good about that. Now we're gonna get that line out in this nice long bubble section. There's a lot of flies up top that I'm seeing, but I'm not really seeing any trout come off the surface. So we're gonna stick with nymphs for now, but we're ready to switch over if we need to. Got all tangled up in my waiting staff here. All right, those clouds are moving in. With kind of the sketchiness of getting in here, we're gonna quicken this up a little bit. We're gonna finish off though with something kind of silly. So I've got pizza fly right here, and then I've got this little caddis emerger right here. We're just gonna mess around a little bit, toss out a couple dry flies, see if we can get anything. Not really expecting a whole awful lot, but there were some things coming off the surface just a second ago, so we'll see if we can get one more off of a dry fly before we leave for the day. How about that? And really that pizza fly, I'm honestly more using as like an indicator sort of thing than like a real, fly to fish. But I am kind of hoping one day that a fish just kind of takes that pizza fly for some reason. I mean, you can see it from underneath. It could look like a salmon fly, or it could look like a lot of things. So it's kind of a fun, silly fly to have in the box, and something I definitely like. I have caught some fish on it, so it's kind of, one of those things. It's like maybe you don't have to take it quite so seriously all the time. Nothing off of there. We've been fishing this one section pretty much this whole time because water's a little bit higher, but I think there's a couple of spots just up ahead. I think we'll go cast to before we pack it in for the day. All right, well, those clouds are starting to move in back there a little bit, and honestly, most of the river is kind of looking like that right there, where really with this river is as tight as it is with the rock walls and things like that, I don't feel super confident about getting there. So we're gonna go ahead and hike on out of here. There's a section that I think we can use as a way out instead of the way we came in. We're basically gonna climb up this cliff wall a little bit, but there's a soft section where we can do that and then walk over this hill. So it might be a little bit of a adventure getting out too. So we'll get out there.
And believe it or not, this is quite a bit less sketchy than how I got into this spot. All right, I may have gone up the wrong way. This has been a little interesting, gotten a little dirty, but it's a good time. The things we do for trout, huh? That was what we just climbed up. I think my claim about that being less sketchy, not true. All right, well, despite my best efforts, we made it back to the truck. A little bit of a sketchy walk out. Thought going up would be a little bit easier, but it was a little steeper than it looked, but that's all right. We made it out, got a nice workout in climbing out. Man, all in all, good day on the water. You know, water's definitely looking up. You know, runoff has definitely started. It's been an awesome May, but you can definitely tell that runoff is coming in, and that's making everything just a little bit harder. You know, like I got hooked into my first cast of the day. But just couldn't land them. You know, he got out into that fast stuff, and when they do that, man, they can just turn their head, and all of a sudden that fish is gone. So definitely a little bit of issues here and there with kind of runoff, trying to get deep enough. But man, those fish that we could get hooked into, and those fish that we landed, those were some beautiful fish. So didn't get a shot at the big one today. You know, try to get down into where he's kind of hunkered down. I just think with the amount of water running through, man, I could not get it where I think he is, or where he likes to be from time to time. So I'll have to come back. I'm thinking that section's probably something that I'm going to wait for water levels to come down a little bit to hit that again. Honestly, today was probably a little high for that section, because a lot of that water that was just completely white and blown out, a lot of that can hold some pretty nice fish, kind of late summer, that sort of thing. So it's one of my favorite sections for that. But it also made, you know, the getting in and all that sort of stuff a little bit sketchy. Probably did some things that I shouldn't do, but you know, do as I say, not as I do, and all will be well. So all in all, super fun day on the water. Had a blast catching them on perdigons and some caddis. There was even some caddis flies coming off, but didn't get anything off the dries. So anyways, we're going to finish up this drive, head on home. But thanks for watching. You know, it's always a blast getting to just get out there and have a nice, awesome day on the water, and taking you guys along with us is a great time too. So get out there, fish hard, and hopefully we'll see you out there.